Well, for your health this morning, Father's Day, of course, is here. It's a very unique and different activity for everyone. Whether you're honoring your dad, a spouse, a friend, or a mentor, you might be having a tough time thinking of how to honor and celebrate the men in your life. Don't worry about it. Our health expert, Karen Nowak, is here with some meaningful ideas. Karen, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. Happy Father's Day to your hubby.
Well, happy Father's Day to you, Marty.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karen. You have a whole list here of wonderful activities. Let's get right to it. Number one, participating in a hobby that Dad likes.
Yeah, what better way to really make this personal? You know, if your dad likes to golf, or whether it's gardening, photography, whatever it is, participate in with him, because not only will he be doing something he loves to do, but he'll love it even more because he's doing it with you.
It makes it more meaningful, doesn't it, Karen?
Sure does, yeah.
And this time of year, you know, Dave was talking about the facts. We're still going to see temperatures into the 90s in the East Bay, in some spots, also in the South Bay. This is a perfect day to maybe go out and get wet.
Yes, perfect time to play in the water and take advantage of a lot of places that we have here in the Bay Area, like the Dublin Wave Water Park, and that just opened on Tuesday. A lot of their events are open, and then the Oakland Estuary. If you could try going out and paddle boarding. You could rent a canoe or a kayak. That would be a fun thing to do with your dad or your grandfather even.
There you go.
Yeah, and then the Del Valle Regional Park, that's open too. It's open for fishing, and they load the lake up with some fish, so that would be fun too. So they also have two beaches, single beaches, so that you could go out and play in water.
Yeah, also, of course, the San Francisco coastline all the way down to San Jose. Crown Beach and Alameda, very popular. I know that there's a new, the water park is opened in Concord, also in San Jose. So there's plenty of ways to beat the heat on this Father's Day around the Bay Area. The next tip that you have is looking more deeply into your family tree.
Yes, and this is a great way to really feel connected, you know, connect your stories, connect families. So if you could share family stories, especially if you have like an older adult, like a grandfather or an uncle, they probably have a lot of stories that you may not have heard yet. And I also recommend, this is a time to break out the video camera and really document these stories, and so that you could carry them on for many, many years.
I know a lot of kids, adult sons and daughters, have broken out the video camera or even their phone just to get an oral history of their family before too much time passes by. And it's a wonderful way to really connect with your family tree. Of course, there are so many other options out there with all of the family tree apps and things like this, websites, where you can do that quite easily. And it really gives you a deeper appreciation for your family.
It really does, and it really makes it personal, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I thought about when I should not have been thinking about, oh, the lighting and the sound, and just turn the camera on and just go and capture those stories. Yeah,
you fall into the same trap that I do. We've been doing TV too long, Karen. I think where we start, the lighting has to be perfect, the sound has to be perfect. Not so much. Just gather the stories is what it's all about.
Yes, just do it.
Yeah. It's a great time also, I guess, to maybe do a puzzle, do a board game with the family.
I love puzzles. And I used to do this with my mom, and it's a really, you know, when you're solving a problem like a puzzle, it becomes very you bond as a group. So it's a great way to bring the family together. It's good for all ages, you know, from the young ones to the older ones. Good for short-term memory and finger-confined motor control. And Shutterfly, you can actually have a custom personalized puzzle made, you know, with a family picture, which could make it even more special.
It is amazing what you can do now with photographs. They end up on mugs or puzzles, as you mentioned, placemats, mouse pads. What a great way to remember your family, right?
Right.
That's fantastic.
You can't forget them.
and we know that the restaurants are going to be packed tonight with people celebrating Father's Day. How about maybe staying home and making a meal? together.
That's perfect. You know, what better way to show how much you care for someone than to cook for someone? And you can take that cultural theme one step further and make something that might be something that your family made years ago.
Yeah.
Pull up some old recipes and make it really fun.
That would be fantastic. Another point that I really like about this is doing an act of service for Dad. Explain what you mean.
Yes, and one of the things I hear from my veterans is that what really creates anxiety for them is to see projects that they can't do anymore and they never get to. They physically can't do it. So if you can find out what those little projects are, then go and help them finish or go over there and do it for them. And it will really make them feel less stressed just to have one more thing crossed off their to-do list. So it's just a lovely thing to do.
Another point that you make that I just love this one, Karen, is that we're thinking about dads, but there are so many young people without a father.
Yes, yeah. So Father's Day can actually be a little painful for those kids, and 1 in 4 children don't have a father in their home. So this is a way to actually think about stepping out and maybe being a mentor for one of these kids. And there is an opportunity. Mentoring.org is an organization that actually helps connect children and youth with a mentor. And you can mentor in anything, you know, whether it's career, academics, or health and nutrition, and there's so many ways that you can give and really help a youth without a father.